Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode here on Ecw Evolution. Tonight we will be finishing up the first round of King and Queen of Extreme. To kick off this absolutely stacked card, the first match will be Kenny Omega versus Matt Cardona. Omega fired up. If you've been watching, you know he's coming off a win on that battle royale for the #1 contender spot. Rightfully so, he earned that #1 contender spot. And here in this tournament, well, it won't be a cakewalk, but he will have to prove himself. Cardona struggling to find his footing here in Evolution. Starting off the year a little slow. Converting to what was once known as Mr. Underground, but now back to himself. Feeling like Matt Cardona once again. Can't look past Kenny Omega though. Coming in this tournament as the #8 contender. Matt Cardona will have a lot to face, a lot to overcome here in this tournament. And as I had just mentioned earlier, he had established himself as Mr. Underground here on Evolution just weeks ago, but then converting back to Matt Cardona after feeling like he was comfortable in the ring once again, picking up a win. And here we go, continuing on this King of Extreme tournament, where in just a couple of weeks we will see one of these men possibly competing against Adam Copeland for the men's championship. Cardona looking good early on, the #8 contender again coming into the tournament. And taunting Omega, standing him back up. Omega, the true #1 contender in this men's division. As I had said, winning the Battle Royal tournament at Anarchy Rules to solidify himself the #1 contender. And Cardona switching it up early on, grabbing a hammer. Immediately into a pin attempt. And a kick out at 2 this early. Omega needs to snap out of it. Getting a little comeback here. A big knee to the face of Cardona. And a few punches for good measure. Omega with a ton of success in New Japan and AEW, looking to carry it over here in Evolution. And a big backbreaker onto the knee. Cardona able to reverse it though. Looking for a comeback of his own. Showing shades of the strong style division with a big press, body press to Kenny Omega. And again, that metal tip on the hammer of the body of Omega. But Kenny able to reverse it. Whipping Cardona back into the middle of the ring. The #1 contender back on his feet. A big knee to the chin of Cardano once again. Could this be it? Smart move by Matt, rolling out of the ring there. But Cardano, or I apologize, Omega, able to capitalize on the opportunity. Showing you why he is the top of this division. Omega had set Cardano up for a powerbomb. And whipping him into the corner. A couple kicks to the chest of Cardano. And that kendo stick. Shades of New Japan. As the Evolution crowd chants for tables. Both of these men here getting a few punches in, back and forth. Chops to the chest. Smacks to the chin. Cardano back on top. No, Omega. Which one of these fighters will stand tall? So much on the line here, Cardano. Cardano and Omega both going at it now. A little hockey fight. And a little stall. But Cardano able to get back on offense. A big neck breaker. And he breaks the kendo stick over the shin of Omega. But Omega is able to get back on his feet with a few drop kicks to the chest. A comeback here by the #1 contender. Crossbody. Omega looking good. Looking under the ring. What will a ladder do? Not going to set it up, just going to use the metal for good measure. Back into the ring. And this could be the beginning of the end for Matt Cardano. Will Kenny Omega be the one to advance? No, a low blow out of nowhere from Matt Cardano. Taking out the #1 contender in Kenny Omega. A low blow. What a cheap shot. A true heel victory in Matt Cardano, advancing him in this King of Extreme tournament. Cardano threw everything at Omega here tonight. Weapons, strong style, switching up his arsenal. We saw a great fight there as well from Omega. Using the ladder, we thought that comeback was all. A few drop kicks to the chest of Cardano. And then from out of nowhere, once we thought it was over, the beginning of the end for Cardano, a low blow. Advances the #8 contender. And what a switch up in this tournament. And there you have it. Anyone on the Evolution side of the bracket can win this men's division. Cardano advances.
The following contest is an extreme rules match. Making her way to the ring from San Diego, California,
Continuing on in the Queen of Extreme side of the bracket, we have the former women's champion in Nia Jax, here to make her case for gold once again. Jax was absolutely dominant in the women's division to start off the year here on Evolution. How will she continue her story? A rivalry you could write books about here on Evolution between Nia Jax and Damage Control. As I had just mentioned, Jax was dominant at the beginning of Evolution. Thanks to these women right here, she absolutely walked through Damage Control. However, a new slate in the Queen of Extreme tournament for Damage Control as Asuka looks to pick up the W here tonight. And as announced earlier last week on ECW Unstoppable, we will see an appearance from Kairi Sane eventually against Lyra Valkyria later on in the Queen of Extreme tournament. And here we go. A fueled rivalry here on Evolution, continuing to right itself. And no stranger to shaking off punches as Nia Jax just whipping Asuka back onto the mat with force. And Nia Jax early on looking for a powerbomb attempt to Asuka. Again, maybe another dominant performance from the Annihilator herself in Nia Jax. And showing off for the Evolution crowd, just picking up her opponent. Asuka really needs to get behind Damage Control here tonight. As there it is, right on cue. Dakota Kai getting in the face of Nia Jax. Allowing time for Asuka. No, for nothing to happen. Fueling the fire. And what a move from Asuka. A curl up. Jax able to shake Asuka off. That right there is what we're going to need to see from Asuka here tonight. She needs to switch up her arsenal. We are not going to be able to see any strikes. Strikes do no damage on Nia Jax. And a Samoan roll up. Asuka able to shake off a few of those last strikes. Jax absolutely dominant here in this Queen of Extreme debut tournament here on Evolution. A senton, maybe no. An elbow drop. And another powerbomb attempt. Poor Asuka. She had no chance here one-on-one with Nia Jax. Jax showing you why she is the Queen of Evolution. And a few chops to the chest. Asuka back on top. Spinning back fist. And she has Nia Jax caught up in those ropes. Asuka with a little bit of offensive momentum. Shout out New Japan, drop kick to the chest of the Queen herself. Asuka on top. Damage control, giving some energy to Asuka as Kairi Sane and Dakota Kai join us here along in ringside tonight. And some more chops to the chest of Nia Jax. A big clothesline outside the ring. Allowing time for Asuka to grab that chair once again. Exactly what Asuka needs. No. Jax able to reverse. Slamming Asuka into those steel steps. No. Poor Asuka once again. Back on her feet. What a match. And again, we will be finishing up this whole first round here tonight on Evolution. An absolutely stacked card ahead of you here tonight. What a match. Just the second fight of the night. Again, the Evolution crowd pleading their case for tables. It's right on cue. Kairi Sane tosses in the table. Wow. The Evolution crowd manifesting it. Once again, Nia Jax caught up in those ropes. Asuka looks good. Looking confident. While as dominant as Nia Jax has been so far here on Evolution, she has been taken down. She lost to I apologize. She lost to Lash Legend one-on-one just weeks ago. Match play out again. Letting the match play out a little bit here. Asuka grabs a steel chair, and Nia Jax is able to reverse it. She would be smart to put Asuka through the table. No, doesn't need it. Again, maybe a powerbomb attempt. No. The beginning of the end for Asuka. What a match here tonight. A kick out. And what a fight from Asuka. And a big boot to the face of New Japan's Queen. Once again, that steel chair being involved in the match. And once again, kicks to the back of Asuka's back, slamming her face on the mat. Another pin attempt. And another kick out. And you can't help but be inspired by Damage Control's Asuka. A submission. Nia Jax, seeing black. Will she fade out? No. Asuka shaking it off. Getting the crowd back on her side. Getting the Evolution universe back on Asuka's shoulders. And once again, we saw this earlier tonight. Not going anywhere. Nia Jax shaking off. And whipped into the corner is Asuka. Once again, another pin attempt. Could this advance Nia Jax? And everybody here in the Evolution crowd is shocked. How much fight does Asuka have left? Oh God, this could be it. Down and out is a no. Oh my God. Nia Jax has had enough. A big leg drop to the back of the neck of Asuka. She's beaten down and bloodied up. What else does Nia Jax have to do? Possible match of the year contender here. Jax back on offense, whipping Asuka into the corner. And a big Samoan headbutt off of that thick skull of Nia Jax. Oh no. This is it. That's gotta be it. 1, 2. Asuka. Say her name across the Evolution universe. How many times is she gonna kick out? Fight forever chants roar across the crowd of the Evolution universe. This match will be written in the history books. And another elbow drop. That's gotta be all. Nia Jax pleading her case for gold once again. She was so dominant here on Evolution to kick off the beginning of the year. And showing her dominance once again. And a big body drop to Asuka down on the ground. Jax is focused. Whipped back into the ring. This could be it. But I've said that so many times here tonight. I don't know how much more Jax can throw at Asuka. She's a dead woman walking at this point. And that does it. What a fight from Asuka. I mean, you gotta give it to Nia Jax. A dominant performance, whipping her opponent all around the ring. But overall, what a fantastic fight from Damage Control's Asuka. We saw her get that steel cage involved, using a few weapons there. I apologize, that steel chair involved, using a few weapons, throwing everything she had at Nia Jax. Kicking out not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4. An infinite amount of times here tonight. But at the end of the day, the queen of this tournament, the queen of Evolution, has been Nia Jax. Absolutely dominant performance from the Annihilator, the Samoan Queen herself. And looking on to this tournament, next up, we will have a match between Lash Legend
Here is your winner.
and there we have it. Nia Jax, an absolutely dominant performance here tonight, making her case for gold once again here on Evolution. We just saw that devastating loss from Damage Control's Asuka. Will we see Kairi Sane avenge the name of Damage Control against Lyra Valkyria and this Queen of Extreme tournament? looks to make her name for herself in the women's division here in this tournament. An absolutely stunning character. How would you back it up in the ring?
And her opponent from Dublin, Ireland, Lyra Valkyria.
And a true contender in this Queen of Extreme tournament in Lyra Valkyria. Her name is up there with fighters alongside in the women's division like Bayley, Nia Jax. She has fought alongside Alexa Bliss. Anywhere this woman goes, the show follows her. Lyra Valkyria, the number 2 contender here in this Queen of Extreme tournament. Looking for another dominant performance against Damage Control. Go continuing on in this Queen of Extreme tournament. Kairi Sane looking to make her name for herself, as I said earlier on, fighting alongside a true contender in Lyra Valkyria. And a Hurricane Rana there off of the top rope. And we will see that arsenal used by Sane here at Evolution. A very unique moveset. She'll be flipping all around the air. And a true contender in Lyra Valkyria coming into this match, fighting alongside women like Bayley and Asuka and Nia Jax as well. Lyra, a true contender in the women's division. No doubt the number 2 contender coming into this tournament. Sane tucked up in the corner, allowing time for Lyra Valkyria to grab a kendo stick. And the ref blocked the view a little bit there, but it hit the forehead of Kairi Sane. Sane down on the ground. Valkyria using those ropes. Sane looking for a weapon of herself, looking a little insane. And Kairi Sane's back was just slammed through that trash can. As you see, it was shattered there. Lyra on the top rope. Could this be an early victory for the number 2 contender? And a kick out at 1 early on for Damage Control's Kairi Sane. And a little twist body slam there for Lyra Valkyria. Picking up that already broken kendo stick and breaking it over the back of the insane Kairi Sane. In all of the strong style division, just smacking it, kicking around Kairi Sane a little bit. And now she's in the corner. Another one-sided affair against the Damage Control. Damage Control not very favorable in tournament matchups apparently. Not at all. That is it. After as an inspiring match as Asuka had last match. You would think Kairi Sane would be a little more fired up, have a little bit more energy, have a little bit more fight back. But what a one-sided matchup it has been all night against Damage Control. Lyra Valkyria and Nia Jax with two absolutely dominant performances. And we will see Lyra Valkyria advance in this tournament. She will face the winner of Lash Legend and Zoe Stark.
Here is your winner, Lyra Valkyria.
Continuing on in the Queen of Extreme tournament, we will see Zoe Stark defend her friend's name as we just saw Alexa Bliss defeat Shayna Baszler in last week's episode on Evolution. Again, Zoe Stark will be facing no other than Lash Legend, who is taking over the women's division. Just mentioned, Lash Legend is taking over the women's division. This has been a very one-sided tournament. We will see how this match plays out. In my opinion, it's bound to be the same as we've seen all across the women's division here so far in the Queen of Extreme debut tournament at Evolution. Lash Legend recently picking up wins against women like Nia Jax, holding the #1 contender spot in the women's division for a couple of weeks, and finding herself here. And here we go, Zoe Stark versus Lash Legend to continue the Queen of Extreme tournament. Lash Legend looks great so far this year here on Evolution. Now joined by a true contender in the men's division as well in Javon Evans. A flashy couple. Here on the top ropes, Lash Legend looking for a big slam already to Zoe Stark in the middle of the ring. A very one-sided tournament it has been already. We will see if this match brings the same energy. Early pin attempt. Lash fired up, trying to end it early. And a big body drop. And that patented ECW sledgehammer coming out from under the ring. Zoe Stark rolls out of the way. Tries to get a super kick in, but misses. And she's able to get some momentum here. Pin attempt from Zoe goes nowhere. Stark on offense now, as I had mentioned earlier. Her longtime friend losing to the former champion in Alexa Bliss. Zoe Stark looking to avenge her friend's name. And on the top rope is Lash Legend back on offense here. Big elbow to the throat. Flying clothesline. And then she throws that sledgehammer. If you have not noticed, that top turnbuckle is taken off, revealing that raw metal in the corner. We'll see if Lash Legend uses it to her advantage. A smart move from Javon Evans. And a big backbreaker. The Evolution universe once again chanting for tables tonight. We'll see if they get their wish. And a big boot attempt missed in the corner. Stark unable to get anything going though. A power bomb in the future for Zoe Stark. Could that advance Lash Legend? No. Kick out of 2. Stark able to slip out of the way, but this again has been a very one-sided affair. As Zoe's whipped into that corner. Lash Legend really starting to show her training with Javon Evans over these past couple of weeks here on Evolution. Really making a tear in the women's division. And another backbreaker. This could be it. Getting the sledgehammer for good measure. And Javon talking to the ref a little bit. Maybe a distraction. And Smart couldn't get a pin off there. As Zoe Stark stands over Lash Legend, giving her time to recover. A smart move by Javon Evans, taking the ref out of the equation. And a big slam to the face of Zoe Stark, possibly advancing Lash Legend. And that is it. A couple tosses across the ring was all Lash Legend needed here. Once again, the higher ranked opponent here in the women's division at Queen of Extreme has come out victorious again. Baszler and Stark look fantastic in the tag team division, but really struggle in solo competition. And once again, Lash Legend has been on an absolute tear. Possibly the #1 contender coming out of this match. A couple kick out attempts from Zoe Stark. She looks fantastic. However, could not pull enough out of her moveset, out of her arsenal. And Lash Legend takes over. And this is it. This slam right here, near that sledgehammer, into the pin attempt was all Lash Legend needed. Will gold be around the waist of this future ECW Hall of Famer?
into the ring from Greensboro, North Carolina, weighing in at 170 pounds, the Superstar!
Looking to pick up where Lash Legend left off, Javon Evans, the top and up-and-coming prospect here in the men's division. How will he make his impact in the King of Extreme tournament?
And his opponent from Sin City, weighing in at 265 pounds.
The perfect leader in House of Black is Karrion Kross, recently joining the Sinister Five. Making his impact on Evolution as well. He is a perfect leader for the House of Black. Joined by Scarlett, a recent acquisition here at ECW. He as well will make a huge impact in the King of Extreme tournament. And here we go. Two superstars here on Evolution. A clash of the Titans in your co-main event. Javon Evans unfortunately not being joined by the legend here this match, as she is too tired to come out, giving it her all last match against Zoe Stark, picking up a W and facing herself in the Queen of Extreme tournament. And a big DDT there, as Scarlett's a little frustrated. Karrion Kross looks flustered. The ref making a big mistake there, not seeing Karrion Kross's foot caught up in the ropes. Javon Evans fired up. Looking great here tonight is Evans. Again, this is his debut in the King of Extreme tournament, as well as the King of Extreme tournament's debut here on Evolution. But Evans looking fantastic, showing you why he is the top prospect here at ECW. And throwing off that ring post. The women's division has been a very one-sided affair. However, the men's division has not been the same. Bangers on bangers in the men's division in this King of Extreme tournament. This match is bound to be the same. Karrion Kross starting to fight back a little here, as he throws Javon Evans back off that ring post too. And a few chops to the chest. Kross is the perfect leader of House of Black. However, he has been a little flustered here recently. Maybe caught up in his recent acquisitions. And thrown back into the ring, both of these superstars. Again, this is your co-main event, a clash of the Titans. The true prospect versus a true leader. Karrion Kross, maybe a pin attempt here. No. Javon Evans, a kip up. And Karrion Kross just shakes off That pile driver attempt. Scarlett tosses the kendo stick into the middle of the ring and Karrion Kross takes advantage. Kross fired up, big boot. Javon Evans. And back into the ring, Karrion Kross has his sights set right. He knows he can only finish this match in the ring, unlike the Underground tournament, in which we saw Isaac Swagger pick up the win. Again, in the debut tournament, we saw Isaac Swagger pick up a W, solidifying himself the Underground champion for the first time ever here at Evolution. As I just talked over a pin attempt there from Karrion Kross. And an early kick out by Javon Evans at 1. Kross may be frustrated a little bit, tossing his opponent across the ring. Wow, this is effective. Kross will be tired out. Evans able to shake it off. RKO out of nowhere. And Scarlett able to get in the head of the young Javon Evans, allowing Karrion Kross to roll him up. No, kick out at 2. And what a match this has been here in the Men's King of Extreme side of the tournament. Another pin attempt from Kross and another kick out at 1. Evans once again fighting back. A moonsault off the top rope. What a move. Evans with that kendo stick brought into the equation by Scarlett. And a kick out at 2. I didn't think that was going to do it, but, well, I wouldn't have been surprised. A corkscrew. Wow. What a move from Javon Evans. Could this advance? Evans, it does. A flustered House of Black. Karrion Kross loses once again, this time in solo competition. Javon Evans, the top up-and-coming prospect here on Evolution, showing you why. Bouncing all over the arena here. Jumping all over the air. Throwing everything he had at Karrion Kross. And that RKO out of nowhere allowed Evans a little momentum. But then Scarlett got in the head of the young Javon Evans, allowing time for Kross to get a little offense. And then that moonsault and the corkscrew solidified Javon Evans the win. And this move right here sets up Javon Evans in an opportunity for gold over the next couple of weeks.
Here is your winner, the Superstar!
I just want all of the money. Do you know what I said? I gotta get the dinero, the cash, and the bread. Do you know what I'm saying? I gotta do
It's an extreme rules match. Making his way to the ring, accompanied by representing the original from Toronto, Ontario, Canada, weighing in at 212 pounds.
legalities, my aspirations to become
And wrapping up the first round in the King of Extreme tournament, the OG's Christian Cage. Well, he will make his run for gold, and alongside him will be the champion in Adam Copeland.
All the people use cop rules and bus rides until their financials is way up on the...
And a motivated Sami Zayn coming into this match after a huge victory, a huge couple of victories over the last couple of weeks here at Evolution, with his longtime friend as well, and Kevin Owens. This will be an absolute banger. The main event, Sami Zayn versus Christian Cage. The Evolution crowd basking in Sami Zayn's glory. The true face coming in to this match, maybe the face of Evolution, the true contender, a great fighter, making his statement for why he should be your men's champion. And here we go, a classic set ahead of us. Sami Zayn versus Christian Cage. A lot of history between these men right here. And Sami Zayn fired up, coming out strong. A big suplex to the back of Christian Cage. And limb by limb, Sami Zayn will break down his opponent. Cannot take Cage lightly. Cage has a lot of history here on Evolution, backing up his friend for a championship run. And the walls of Jericho set to Christian Cage early on. Zayn not going to mess around, grabbing a weapon. And the Evolution universe has asked for it all night. Sami Zayn has been waiting backstage, setting up a table already. Zayn setting his sights on the champion. Adam Copeland trying not to get involved. And that maybe was a mistake. Cage back on offense. No, Zayn locked in. Big DDT from the top rope. As I mentioned earlier, Zayn has to be absolutely locked in here. Cannot take his opponent for granted. His opponent is comfortable where he is right now. On the ground, he knows he will get his opportunity at some point. And we see that new attire for Sami Zayn, all of the Middle East. Again, not messing around. Zayn tossing the trash can. And a big clothesline to the neck of Christian Cage. Into submission. Cage able to break out. A big drop kick to the chest of Sami Zayn. Cage has his chance. And a kick out at one early on from Zayn. Some chops to the chest of the historical Christian Cage. And tossing that trash can onto the body of Sami Zayn. Zayn on the apron. What's Cage gonna cook up? A big slam onto the back of Sami Zayn. Zayn is busted up, beaten down and bruised. Christian Cage back on top. And maybe they're looking to get the champion involved, allowing time for Sami Zayn to recover. In the back of Christian Cage's neck, just hit those steel steps. You can replay it if you did not see it, but a brutal sight to see. And a big boot to the face, to a beat down and bloodied Christian Cage. And Sami Zayn threatens that steel chair. Zayn tossing Cage across the outside of the ring, setting his focus on the top ropes. Maybe a hurricane or no, a power bomb. Reversed by Cage. And both of these men fighting back. Only one opportunity for gold. This is it. Single elimination to finish up the first round here at the King of Extreme. Neither of these fighters able to get an edge on one another. As Sami Zayn looks to toss Christian Cage back in the ring. What is this move right here? A big spinning powerbomb reverse by Christian Cage into a Hurricane Rana. Zayn once again tossed on the outside of the ring. And now Cage on the top ropes. And a big elbow drop to the back of Sami Zayn. Cage fired up. And Zayn with a little comeback here, big clothesline, grabbing that steel chair. And just revealed, Cage is now bloodied up, as you see over that right eye. Zayn just busted him. Uh-oh. Oh no. Cage could be down and out. The Evolution Universe has been asking for it all night. Through the table! No more Sami Zayn. Put him in the ring. End it all. Please. Sami Zayn says, have you had enough? As if Christian Cage hasn't. Kevin Owens has something for him in the corner. A roll-up attempt by Cage. Such a chaotic match here in this main event. Cage busted up, put through a table, but then fired back. And right there, a big crossbody, and throws the trash can again on the body of the beaten down Sami Zayn. Spear out of nowhere. And a kick out of two. I told you this was going to be an absolute classic. And by golly was I right. Frog splash off the top rope. The bloodied Christian Cage will advance. What a card was this. Maybe card of the year here on Evolution. The King and Queen of Extreme has been an absolute banger in both divisions. Sami Zayn and Christian Cage putting on a classic match of the year candidate here tonight. Both of these men got up on each other a little bit, grabbing the weapons, the steel chair, the steel steps, and then you see the table brought into the equation from Sami Zayn. all of the Evolution universe asked from all night, and the spear out of nowhere from Christian Cage. We thought that was it. Sami Zayn then kicked out, but a frog splash by the bloodied, beaten down Christian Cage, the longtime partner
Here is your
of the
winner,
fired up champion, and Adam Copeland. Will we see the matchup of the century in Christian Cage and Adam Copeland at the end of the barrel at this King of Extreme?